Hey guys, this is Randy here again with another carburetor video. Guys, as always, please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help us support the channel, our Cash App is in the description below. Any help would be appreciated. And guys, today I want to talk to you about restriction. Far as I ran into this years ago when we were running circle track, and we had certain classes we had to run a 2-barrel carburetor like we was talking about the other day. Whether we were running a big 2-barrel or small, if the motor is a well thought out motor, it's a good performing strong motor, you will become restricted to the engine, usually with a 2-barrel. Now you have to check it. The only way I know to check this, like I did on the circle track cars, I would hook up a vacuum gauge, put a long hose to the intake manifold, and then bring it inside, and then hook a camera up and let it just video it while they were racing. And what happened is I had one which was a 500 cubic inch at the time we had to run, 500 CFM I mean. And it was a really good small block. The engines were dry sump. They were probably 12-to-1 motor. They were excellent engines, had very good heads on them. And they put out high horsepower. So it's actually restricted at big time. But I wanted to know how much, so I hooked this up and went out for the next heat. He run around the track, and it was pulling 8 inches of vacuum in the intake manifold. So what does that tell us when we got 8 inches of vacuum in the manifold like that, running down the back straightaway? It went all the way up to 8 inches. So I had a 6.5 inch power valve in it. So it was closing the power valve down the back straightaway, which is going to lean it out. Now, if that's just a short distance, that's not that big a deal. But if it's halfway down the track, you can get in trouble. You can actually, you're turning a mess out of that motor. I mean, you're turning some RPMs and it drops half the fuel, almost half the fuel. You can get in trouble. So anything like this can be restricted. It don't matter if it's a 4-barrel. If you had a 390 CFM carburetor or 600 on a big motor, you need to, if you're worried about if you're running it hard, you're running drag strip, you're running quarter mile, make sure what you're doing. Make sure that you're not pulling too much vacuum in the intake. I don't like to see over an inch, but you know, we usually run high RPM engines. Now it's not critical on a lower RPM engine. It's not as critical. It's when that engine gets turning up 6, 7, 8,000 RPMs, it can get you in trouble. You can burn up a good motor, not even realize what's happening. But you can always put this vacuum gauge on there, on the intake manifold, or right at the bottom of the carburetor, the base, where it's getting manifold vacuum, and you can tell what's going on. And like I say, 1 or 2 inches, you're not going to hurt yourself. You might not like it. You know, the perfect thing is not a restriction. 0 to 1 is what I like, because we turned our engines pretty hard. But just remember, when you close that power valve, you're cutting off a bunch of fuel quick. So don't mess up and end up losing a good motor over just something like a restriction. You know, the carburetor's not big enough, or it's just pulling waste. If it's super small, like a 500 on a good motor like that, it's way small, and it's a real restriction. You're pulling 8 inches of vacuum. That's way too much. Now, in that case, you have to make allowances. You either have to change the power valve, get it down where it should be, or either you straight jet it, one or the other. But I just wanted to touch base on this, guys. I don't know if y'all have ever thought about this. It's you can't really check anything else, but you can check this easy. You check how much restriction you have in the intake, or the air cleaner itself, air filter. You might want to run it one time without the air filter and just see how much restrictions there. But anyway, I just want to touch base on this. If it was me, guys, I would try to stay down to no more than 2, and if I was running real hard RPM, I'd try to keep it down to almost nothing. This is Randy. This is a quick video. Hope you guys like it. Talk to you later.